All right, always a pleasure to talk to my next guest, Jared Vanderaa, who'll be fighting on May the 22nd against Justin Tafa. How's it going, man?
Going good. I just got my mouthpiece fitted maybe like 3 or 4 hours ago because I live in Southern California. Traffic, is a breeze of waiting at 2 afternoon for no fucking reason. Just let's stop, let's go. So I just got home maybe 20 minutes ago, showered up, finished up my mouthpiece. Yeah, that's always fun.
Well, I always appreciate your time. And I think I told you before, I lived in Southern Cali, so I fully understand how crazy the traffic can be down that way. So I don't envy you there. Let's talk about this last matchup. I know a lot of people were disappointed that you didn't go in there and do your thing. This was a matchup that was supposed to happen previously. You're supposed to fight Sergey. Now here, fast forward to the time where you made your UFC debut and things just didn't go your way. What can you point towards as to why you didn't get the job done?
I can go give you the typical like, oh, I just got nervous, but I'm gonna just be like the canvas is nice, and so like when I was down there, I really enjoyed the comfort of the canvas, and the lights were like, ooh, these are. It was so uncomfortable. I actually forgot I was fighting. I was like, what? Oh shit, I'm fighting. By the time I realized I was fighting, it was a little too. And yeah, but honestly, it was more or less. It's just the nerves. I kind of took myself out of that whole, like, hey, I've been doing 10 years plus. I've actually trained with top guys. Like I trained with Dominic Reyes. You know, he's kind of known for being all right. He's kind of you know ranked, and it's like I have punched him. I do it often. I've grappled with him. I do it often. It's like I've with UFC level guys for a long time. Why why didn't it show here?
Yeah.
And bit of it was nervousness and just like oh my god, I made it to the big leagues. So that's honestly I got it into my head, and it destroyed the sense that of like I don't know, like I overplayed the guy's skill and honestly it bit me in the ass.
A lot of people talk about the octagon jitters the first time you actually step into the cage, but you fought a contender series, and that's pretty similar. I know it's on a smaller level, but still, you're right there at the apex. You have Dana White and all the bosses there cage side. Can you kind of give me an analogy about the difference fighting a contender series versus making your UFC debut?
Okay, it was kind of the same, but I think what kind of happened was that so I got COVID December like 9th and postponed my fight from the December 12th. But for some reason, if I had my fight in that narrower time window, not saying I won it, but I think that performance would have been different. Whereas when it got prolonged, I just started being like, "Oh my god, I'm here! Oh my god, I'm here!" So much so that when I was there, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm here! Oh my god, I'm here!" I don't know what to do. It bit me in the ass. Um, I think if I continued on that shorter turnaround, I think it would have had different results.
Yeah, well, that does make sense. I've actually heard a lot of athletes say who have gotten COVID that it really affects their lungs. And sometimes it can really be an issue for weeks and even months after you actually, come in contact with COVID. Did you notice a difference in your gas tank at all?
No, I really didn't. But again, what affected my gas tank or cardio was my head, like mentally just be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm is COVID. Like I had COVID. I took those 3 weeks off to like recover because I mean I went from almost like a 6 month training camp, literally. I got the call in June for the contender series. Boom, 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 boom. So June, like I'm like a week out. They're like, hey, we're postponing it to November, and I'm like, fuck. And then I take like a weekend off, get back into training camp. Boom, 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 boom. Then right after my Contender Series. I was literally the next day. I get home. Hey, you're fighting in 5 weeks. I'm like, fuck it, we're fighting in 5 weeks. And so I took just time to relax. I really didn't have any negative side effects to it. But I put on a lot of weight real quick. I was garbage eating. I was just like, oh my God, like I need a break. And that affected my cardio for 2-3 weeks. And I was like, okay, let's get back into this, and come 22nd, it just did not work out the way I planned it to be.
The last time we spoke, our previous interview, you had said that you really wanted to kind of change your body composition, so to speak, and just kind of lose some weight and be healthier, just for yourself and your performance inside the cage. Have you really made that a focus for this camp going into this fight with Justin?
Yeah. So I want, like we talked a while ago. So I really set myself way back in December when I had COVID. I literally did everything wrong by the playbook. One, so I put on a lot of weight, and it kind of shows in my last fight. Like I'm not let's be real. And then come so in like about 4 to 5 weeks before that fight, I started working with my strength and conditioning / wrestling coach. In all, he didn't have enough time to really mold me in any form of way. He only literally had maybe a month to work with me, and I mean a month, and that's not including the week out. Where we're in Vegas, locked up or quarantined in the room. So I mean, maybe more realistically, about 3 weeks to work with me. But this time around, I am trying my best to drop the weight. Today is actually the lowest I've been all fight camp at 275. I'm doing everything right, but I am struggling to drop the weight. But like physically, looks like I'm doing. I think my body mass is going the right direction. So I'm doing everything right in that sense.
That's good. By the way, she is absolutely adorable. You're going to have your hands full when she gets older, my friend.
I know. She's adorable now because the camera's on and like TikTok or something. Yeah, anytime I record something, she's like, "Oh, are we making a TikTok?" I'm like, "No." Or like, "I will be," and she's like, "Oh, can I be a part of it?" No.
So. She is super cute, man. You had mentioned that you're the lowest your weight's at right now. What was the biggest you got?
Once I started getting around 290, 295, I refused to step on a scale because I didn't want to say 300. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna lie to myself and say I never hit it. Though I remember the worst I've ever seen it was at 298, and it was when was like maybe a week or two before she was born. I was like, ooh, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, time to dial it back in, right?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's not good. So that was kind of one of those moments there. But for the most part, like I just blew up really quick in December. I mean, it was the holidays. I had, like I said, I had a 6-month training camp predominantly. I was like, I need to let off some steam. Maybe a little too much steam. Plus, I got sucked into playing Cyberpunk. Even with the quote unquote all the like glitches and stuff, like I got lucky. I didn't have that many problems. Boom, boom, boom. So I nerded it out for like two weeks, just straight pop, 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 pop.
Hey, those things happen from time to time. You know what? You shared a picture on Facebook, I think it was yesterday, the day before, of when you fought at 205 pounds, and you looked so lean. How many years ago was that?
I want to say I was 8 years, 9 years.
Wow. Yeah, time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I had the great diet of struggles. I lived in Vegas. I want to say that was like November, December time, where my job, because I was a mover, and like from November to like February, it is dead. I like working maybe like twice a week. My ex at the time, she was luckily carrying the team, but she was making minimum wage, so I leaned out pretty easily when you were not eating.
Yeah, that usually is the case when you're in a situation like that. I did want to ask you too, just about your gym and how that's going. I know, you opened up a Team Quest center here fairly recently. How is that going now that COVID is mostly behind us? And how's your clientele base?
It's going good. Uh, we we're finally making a profit. Uh, for the most part, it's actually doing real well. Now, I mean, I'm not a baller by any means, but it's definitely helped us. We still live in an apartment, like a little one, and considering housing and like guesstimating housing, right? We're not rushing to get out of the apartment because like I'm in the UFC, but I'm not making Usman money. I'm making I just signed with the UFC, so it's going to take a little bit longer to make some money to get a place, substantial place to live. But right now we're comfortable where we are,
Sure.
uh, you know, and there's no rush because we're kind of watching the economy because I'm assuming it's going to drop sooner than later.
Yeah, you just never know nowadays what's going to happen. What is your current contractual situation? How many more fights do you have after this one?
Uh, After this one would be two, so it's a 4 or 5 contract. It's a pay increase each win, I believe, and we'll get. But I think my manager said that he will, because my third fight, he said he could start talking to Mick about it. Like I just let my manager do that
Mhm.
because it's kind of what I pay him for.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let him do his job, and I'm gonna take a little stress off my shoulders and figure out. I do a quick glance. I actually have my fiance look at it, double check it, uh, um, make you know safe enough.
Oh, for sure. Do you feel any extra pressure, Jared, going into this fight? Because, you never really know with the UFC sometimes when they just let somebody go. Like if you lose two in a row, you never really know what can happen. Do you feel like your back's up against the wall, like you really got to go in there and get an exclamation point win here, win here?
Not really. I actually think maybe my opponent has more to worry about than me because he's 1-2. Granted, his last fight was actually really enjoyable. I actually watched that one live before I knew I was going to be fighting him. Uh, so I don't think so. Just because you know I am young. I took the fight. Like they offered me one fight. I tried to take it, but due to like some medical issues, they're like, "Oh, we can't have you." But I'm glad they're willing to say yes. So I mean, I'm kind of a company man. Like I'm already showing myself to be a company man, uh, versus not. Uh, it's just I think that was a good step in the direction I needed, and they respected that, and so I'm not too worried about it, and yeah, it's just not something I'm worried about right now. Maybe if I lose this fight, then we'll have a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure you're still in real good standing here with the UFC. When you look at the landscape of the heavyweight division, how deep do you think the division is right now? I mean, Francis Ngannou is terrifying. To see what he did to Stipe, I mean, the guy literally he looks like an alien from another planet. Like when you look at the guys at the top of the division, like how far away do you feel like you could be from getting there? Like how many wins are you going to have to string together to get to that point?
Stringing together and where I feel like I am are two different things. Like I think stringing together minimum 4 to 5. That's not even like, and there's no rush to get to the top. You know, like a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have to be the top 5. I, I like fighting. Like, I don't necessarily need a belt around my waist to enjoy punching someone in the face. You know, once I get the belt, it just adds, more zeros to my bank account or something. But until then, I'm going to punch my way there until they're like, hey, you need to punch this guy and you'll make money doing it. Oh, okay, cool. Like, and I'm not worried about it until I. And I mean, I hate to say this, but the heavyweight division lost what? Overing, what's his face?
JDS.
Yes, for Doom. Okay, that's 3 top contenders right there. Not to be disrespectful, Alexia Lennox could be retired somewhat shortly. Mr. Orlowski could retire somewhat shortly. And like, not to like show any disrespect to those gentlemen, but they are kind of gatekeeper-esque. So if you beat one of those two, it's very possible you find yourself on the opposite end of the top 15 and the top 10. Whereas I think and then there's enough new talent where I think there could be, some rising stars. I do think one was it Espinoza?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the side, but I think he could be someone to reckon with, even though he lost his last fight, which was questionable. And I'll do that. I thought Romanov, I wish Romanov would just suck it up for 5 minutes and fight it off. And to get that win was, I felt like it should have been no contest. But both of those guys, I thought, are some good competitors that are rising. That will, I think, be in the top 10 sooner than later. Tom Aspinall is another good example of that. So we're getting some young fighters in the UFC that are, becoming.
Yeah.
For a while.
Definitely an influx of new heavyweight talent for sure. Now, talk to me about this training camp. We're still about 4 weeks out from May 22nd, the fight against Justin Tafa. How has it been thus far, and what do you have left to do before fight night actually gets here?
Things I have to do is more or less just weight cut. That's the easy part / really hard part for some reason. I'm struggling. Like, it sounds stupid, but I'm doing everything right. I'm still struggling. I blame the pregnant woman in the other room. I blame everything because it's the sympathy pain thing is real. Like, there's just certain things that she struggles with, and now magically I'm struggling with. I'm like, what the fuck? Plus, I'm getting thrown around, punched, and I'm just like, I don't need extra pain because of you. So,
who gave you the shiner?
I don't know. This is from jiu-jitsu, by the way. And, I don't know if you can see it, but it looked like I tried to cut myself.
Yeah.
I want to say I was rolling with a dude, and he grabbed my hand and, pulled it down, and my fingernails ripped through which pisses me off because I just got a manicure. It's like, this is a brand new manicure. I got this Sunday. This happened Tuesday. I was like, why?
Do you get manicures on a regular basis? Is that something that you like to do?
I would like to do it more, but not on a regular basis. And it's predominantly pedicures. I do pedicures a lot more.
Okay.
It was just me and ladies were bored at home. We're like, hey, let's do a mani pedi. I'm like, all right, cool.
Now, your nickname's the Mountain. You're 6'4". I mean, you get close to 300 pounds. Has any of your guys ever given you any crap for doing that?
Oh, I get crap when I'm cutting weight. I am the verbal punching bag of the team, I think. Just because, and then it's always like, oh, you're only doing this because you're big. Oh, you're only doing that because you're big. And it's like, oh, okay. That's not the technique that just swept you off your feet, but it's me being big. Okay, whatever. Because, everything is used based off my size. Not anything skillfully or meticulous. It's just, oh, you're big. I'm like, yeah, because I could do the sweeping, you can't.
We all know that you got the skill set. There's no doubt about that. Who have been the main training partners for this camp? Has it been any different, or has it have been the same guys?
It's been it's actually been really different. So normally I to just kind of trying to do things a little bit more different and personalized. I have can you stop? More personalized. I've tried to I worked 3 days with my coach Brandon for strength and conditioning, wrestling, uh, and also Muay Thai with my my other coach, Zach. So I have Zach with me 3 days or 4 days a week. I lied because I have Saturday, and then Mondays I still go dance to do some sparring. Depending on Thursdays is a hit and miss on whether or not if I train hard or just do something physical, because it's usually the days that my fiance has doctor's appointments for the babies. Most of the time, so far I can't go to them, but I like to be around so if she has a call or like I have to watch the kid. She's not like, oh my god, struggling. So it has been different. It's been more a very selfish training camp. Now this camp is over. Yeah, I'll start being at Dan's now, and Zach really focusing on we're working at tech. And then it helps having Brandon around because he's 6'2", a freaking Hulk of a man at like 290, just shredded.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking about like, oh, he big as shit. You look at him, you're like, damn.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, he was a former D1 wrestler. So yeah, he knows some things, and he did USA boxing, so he likes punching people.
It's a good guy to have in your corner. Let's talk about this matchup with Justin. He's 4-2. You've got a lot more experience than him professionally. He just lost a split decision to Carlos Felipe. He KO'd Juan Adams before that. When you look at his skill set, do you feel like you match up pretty well against him?
Yes, stylistically, I think we are a match made in heaven. Now, it's good because I like fighting left. For my whole career, my main partner happens to be a fucking lefty. I'm over fighting lefties, but I have actually developed a lot of good skills against lefties that I can't really use on righties. So there's going to be things that people are like, oh, can you do that? Yeah, I can, because I will beat up a lefty more ways than one. And again, two of my partners, Sam Alvey and Dominic Reyes, both lefties, and I can hang with them, and maybe even outstrike them just because I'm so used to training with lefties that it's almost second nature to me.
So give me two fight picks. The main event tomorrow night, Dominic Reyes and Prochazka. How's that going to end? And then give me your prediction for your fight with Tafa. How will that finish?
Do I have to really go with who I'm picking for tomorrow night?
Well, how is he going to win? How about that? I'll rephrase the question.
I think he's going to just do it old-fashioned Dom, left hand down the middle to his face. It's just what Dom does. Not saying that's the only tool he has. It's a really good tool. So I'm going with that one. Mine's going to be a spinning heel kick to the dome. Yep.
For real?
Yeah, why not?
Spinning.
I know how to do them.
Okay, a spinning heel kick to the dome.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a heavyweight get a finish from a spinning heel kick to the dome. I can't remember. Refresh my memory if there has been one.
I'm sure Krokop's done it once.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point.
Oh, Badahara made a whole career out of it, actually. I mean, kickboxing, but he's made a career out of it.
Okay. I was thinking like MMA related.
MMA, I don't know, but I remember Badahara actually landed it on Rico Verhoeven and broke his leg or something, kicking Rico in the head. Rico must have a hard ass head.
Man, I'll tell you what, if a spinning heel kick to the head is the winning formula here for you on May the 22nd, this is going to be a wonderful night, one where I'd imagine you get a bonus of 50 grand as well. Jared, yeah, no doubt, man. Listen, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. You're one of the true good guys in this sport. Again, May the 22nd, UFC Vegas 27, Jared Vanderaa, Justin Tafa, heavyweight bout. It's going down. And, May the 22nd is my mom's birthday. So that might give you maybe a little, edge here, maybe some good karma. Who knows?
Well, it's 10 days after mine. So I really want to celebrate it. It would be nice to celebrate it with, some money.
There you go. Listen, man, before I let you go, tell people how to follow you on social media. And if you have anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Follow me preferably on Instagram or TikTok because I really don't use Facebook or Twitter, but I have all of them. It's all under Jared Vanderaa. Catch me there doing random ass shit. Thank you for having me. As always, Ryan, I've always been a fan. Yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening to me. We'll put subtitles one of these days. But yeah, thank you guys.